Carney's announcement has sparked political reaction on Parliament Hill. Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre responded to it last hour. He said the Prime Minister's decision was part of a continued pattern of climb downs and a backtrack on tariff promises.
Today we learned that it has been yet another capitulation and climb down by Mark Carney. His elbows have mysteriously gone missing. And this call follows on other concessions. He promised during the campaign he would have dollar for dollar retaliation. He pulled that back. He made concessions on the military while getting nothing in return. He pulled back on his digital services tax, a terrible tax, but you'd think he'd get something in return for it. Nothing. And today, he removed even almost all of the tariffs on the United States and got none lifted from Canada.
A lot of people have been speaking about Mark Carney's elbows today, including the Conservative leader, Pierre Poilievre, who has now come out, has given us his reaction to what we heard from the Prime Minister, saying that he is open to working with the government, but also saying that he would have taken a different approach with Donald Trump. So take us through some of what we heard from Pierre Poilievre.
Right. Well, look, it's very clear what Pierre Poilievre is trying to do there. I mean, he just lost a national election to Mark Carney. He lost his own seat. He's going to return to Parliament because of his significant win in the by-election in Alberta. But he wants to, lay the groundwork for his main political rival as being a failure on the central issue of the last campaign of who is best to deal with Donald Trump. So, look, it's been about, 116 days since the election. 6 days after that, 7 days after that, the meeting in the Oval Office where the trade negotiations sort of began in earnest. It's not gone well for Canada since then. Deadlines have been set. Deadlines have been missed. The tariffs on steel and aluminum and other things have doubled from 25% to 50%. So it's gone in the wrong direction despite overtures and concessions by Canada on things like dropping counter tariffs today, dropping the digital services tax. So it hasn't moved the way Canada had hoped despite these things and agreeing, for example, to border control measures and agreeing to hit the NATO target. But the argument for Mr. Poilievre today that he would have approached this from a position of strength, well, how? The U.S. economy, they're bullying the European Union, which is an economic bloc of orders of magnitude larger than the Canadian economy. China, Japan, everyone is buckling under to concessions to the United States right now. So how exactly do you come from a position of strength? And the second point he made, that he would have gone to the president and respectfully said, if you drop your tariffs, we'll drop ours. Well, literally every country on earth has done that. That's the first thing you do in a trade war is make that offer of let's go back to normal and drop these things. That's just not where this president is. That's not where this administration is. That is obviously something every, global trade expert working on this issue, from here to Europe to Australia to Japan, has tried and thought of, and it hasn't worked. The U.S. wants to use its economic dominance to re-level the balance, the playing field of world trade in its favor, and to pull industries inside the United States and to use the tariffs that they are imposing at their border as a source of revenue for the federal government. So there are larger domestic issues at play for the president here than simply being offered a quid pro quo of you drop your tariffs, we'll drop ours. It's now become very clear that there will be some sort of tariff on a lot of things when this does reach whatever resolution it gets to with the President of the United States, because it is a part of the central political orthodoxy of the second Trump presidency. And the challenge is to lower it and mitigate it as much as you can and find a way to diversify and be resilient to lessen the impact that it's going to have on your domestic economy.